Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And very excited for our show today and the conversation we're going to have, because it's really, really important. We're going to be talking about investing in yourself, investing in your dreams, saying yes to those things that matter most to you that you will and are willing to lean in to bring forward. So I'm just very honored to have each and every one of you leaning into this important conversation, this opportunity to lean in, to say yes to those things that pull at our heart. Part of us living on purpose, making the difference that we're called to make, is by being willing to invest in ourselves, being willing to put time and energy and resources and curiosity and growth and discovery into those dreams that are planted in our heart and our spirit. Leaning into those things that uniquely and powerfully call us so that we can really show up in the way that we're made. Today, we have an amazing guest who leans into empowering women to do just that, to support them in stepping into and claiming their dreams, investing in themselves and what they believe in, time, energy, resources to bring forward what matters most, that you can do that. You can have that in your life. So I'm looking forward to our conversation, thrilled to have each and every one of you joining us today. And I want you to get the most out of our time together, because it's not by accident that you've tuned in today. It's on purpose. That means there's something here for you. So to support you in getting the most out of our time together today, I want to encourage you to take a breath. Beautiful. In through the nose, all the way to the toes. Out through your mouth, like through a straw. Choosing mindfully and purposely to become present. Open to receive. You get to take off the doing, the list right now. All of those things get set to the side as we clear this space and time and claim it for you to receive everything that is here for you today. So as you're pausing and you're breathing and you're becoming present, mind, body, soul, and spirit, I invite you to keep breathing and place both hands on your heart. Feel the beat. And in between the heartbeats, what is your heart saying to you today? What is it that you need that will encourage and empower you to support you in stepping into your dreams? What do you need today? If it helps, I invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe, and just feel the message, the information, the reminder, the encouragement, the truth that is speaking to you between those heartbeats. What is it that you need today? Real time, and are willing to receive. Beautiful. Let's take a breath. Come back into the room. Eyes open, fully present. Wonderful. And as you do that and you're becoming fully present, take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's write it down. Let's stop it from swirling around in us and actually become part of what we're bringing to the world, so we can keep it top of mind throughout our time together today. And as you go back out in the world, that you're on the lookout for support in that area, whatever it is that you need, or the reminder that you're holding that close. And please notice, we didn't say how. You don't have to figure out how. You're simply identifying what it is you need and are willing to receive. You get to be surprised at the wonderful and unexpected way. You get to be surprised at how that support comes in. Open to the wonderful way you get to lean in and see that need move forward. Beautiful. With that, we're going to bring in our amazing guest, Barbara, and have her share just for a moment, 15 seconds, what was laid on her heart when she took a moment to stop, pause, connect, and listen. Barbara, I'd love to know.
For me, it was organization and gratitude. So just being grateful for the journey thus far and continued organization towards the fulfillment of my goal.
Beautiful. I love that. I don't always hear that combination. Organization with gratitude. I love that. It's like bringing in the heart and the mind and bringing it all together.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart? Perhaps it was bringing in multiple parts of you that you are appreciating or looking for or wanting to help bring everything forward that you're called to bring forward. So as we go to our first commercial break, I'm going to encourage you to stay present, to really feel into what is speaking to your heart, to your spirit, to what is bubbling up. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that opportunity to take a breath, slow down a little bit, and listen and discover what's speaking to your heart and your spirit. Sometimes we're moving so fast, we can't hear that voice. We can't even hear ourselves, or there's things that are pulling at us because we move so quickly. I'm going to encourage you throughout our show today during the commercial breaks to use those as an opportunity to stay present, to listen, to process what serves, to take it in deeply and release what no longer does. Those moments and pauses are built in on purpose and by design to support you so you can integrate that which serves and have it become part of you instead of on the to-do list, actually becomes part of who you are. And you get to step back out into the world with it becoming part of who you are now as you keep moving forward. And in fact, here's an extra credit bonus opportunity. You can continue doing that throughout the day when a commercial plays on whatever type of thing you're listening to, whether it's a podcast or it's a live show or some sort of a TV program, anything that has those commercial breaks or pauses. That's a reminder to check in and listen and pause for a moment. You'll be amazed at the clarity you're given, the encouragement, the recentering, the connecting with who you are that will come with that. So that's my extra credit bonus tip for the day. We are talking with our amazing expert and international best-selling author, Barbara Joyce. You got to hear from her in the opening segment for a moment where she shared what was on her heart. And I love that she tied in organization and gratitude, bringing in those pieces. And I wanted to share just a little bit more of who Barbara is. I know you'll love her heart and her spirit. So Barbara Joyce is a #1 international best-selling author, a women's empowerment coach, and she is passionate about personal development and empowering women to find their voices and take steps in creating the life they desire, becoming who they want to be and who they are designed to be. Barbara believes that we all have a purpose and is committed to helping you find it. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and heart-centered Barbara Joyce to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here.
You're so welcome. I'm excited to have you here today, and I'm excited we have a full show that we get to talk about this important subject matter. So I appreciate you carving that time out and spending time with us. And I know you just recently released your book, and so it's a busy time. And and I'm just really honored that you carved out time to dedicate to us, to really pour into us around this important subject matter. So welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This was so fun.
I love that. And I'd love to start our conversation with why. Why is this work that you do, empowering women in this way, why is that personally so important to you?
It is my journey. I think for me, I was living a life that everyone else wanted me to live for so long. And although there have always been those threads of what I wanted in my life, I was never very clear on that. But I was very clear on what everyone else wanted from me. And I was really tuned into what they wanted, what they needed, and I was willing to sacrifice whatever it took to make sure that their needs and their wants and their desires were being met, and really ignoring my own. So, for so long, I just felt like I was kind of going through life sleepwalking. And when I started to come into this material and this information that we all have a purpose and that we're all here for a reason and really embody that, my whole entire life started to really shift and change. And not all of it was pleasant at first, and I didn't understand what was going on. But, I feel like I have crossed over to a different side of life, and I want to help women experience that because it is very empowering, and it's so beautiful because when I follow my heart and my spirit, then everybody else wins as well, So it's this whole thing of like, we think we should sacrifice ourselves for others, but that's not how it really works. It really works is when we fully embody who we are uniquely, then everybody wins. So that's why I'm doing this work.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm curious with what you shared. What was an indicator? How did you start to recognize that you were so clear? I loved how you stated that. So clear in what everybody else wanted or expected or how they wanted you to live your life. So much so that you lost some of who you truly are and how you're made and that you just kept sacrificing that. How did you recognize that there was a disconnect there or an unbalance there?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. And I think that's another reason that I'm so passionate about what I do, is that I didn't recognize. It took me crashing and burning for me to kind of wake up. And I had a real low point in my life and had lost a lot. I had, was divorced. I had to switch jobs. I was really out of sorts and just kind of kept recycling the same programs or, my beliefs that I was living on. And this whole belief was, if I would just find the right man, my life would be okay, And so I went searching for that after the divorce and ended up in a pretty rocky relationship that made me really look in the mirror and say, okay, what's the problem here? Who's the problem here? And that was a hard pill to swallow when I realized, oh my gosh, I'm literally creating all this. But it had to all crumble for me in order to start building the life that I truly wanted. Because I was on autopilot, You're supposed to get married. Okay, who am I? Who should I marry? And I ended up in a beautiful relationship, but it was definitely something where I became very aware of who I was during that relationship, and ended up realizing that I needed to go a different direction, right? But even then, after the divorce, just really recycling all those old beliefs, and it came down to self-worth. And for me, I just didn't think I was worthy of building that life that I desired. But as I took steps to kind of clear all that out, I realized, not only am I worthy, I'm made for this, like these are my gifts. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And maybe that was the master plan, that I had to go through all that now to, help people so that they don't have to reach that low point, because that low point was really low. And I don't want other people to have to go through that.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that, and how we may not even be aware, but that moment where you noticed a pattern and that you were the consistent player in that dance is a hard moment, but also an empowering one, because then therefore you can also shift the dance. You can shift that. So I celebrate that you shifted and you have crossed over and are absolutely doing the work that you're doing. And I love how even those hard things are used and can really, when we walk through them, can take the lessons and things we've learned and help make things in the journey better for others. So I love that you're willing to do that and share on that way. So I had a couple things I wanted to talk about today, but with the direction of where things are going, I'm going to reverse the order of a few things. So I hope you're okay with that, Barbara. We're going to
absolutely.
Okay, we'll go where we're led here. So you talked a little bit about the journey, and it just so ties into me to the book that you just recently released. So would you share the title, the full title, so the title and the subtitle of your book that you just recently released?
Yes, it's called Ditch the Boyfriend and Get a Life Coach. Transform your life from toxic codependency to authentic courage.
Oh, I love that. To authentic courage. Absolutely. And your book, and it has a beautiful, vibrant, bright pink cover that just catches the eye. And the title gets an instant response, and so it definitely pulls in its people right away, and it has reached so many people just in its launch. So within a 72-hour window of time, it reached #1 international bestselling status. It actually reached 7 countries. Huge reach. Bestselling status in 7 countries, 61 categories. So one, thank you for bringing your book forward. It has been reaching and serving so many people. To have that kind of a response so quickly is an indicator that it's really resonating with people around the world, that they're leaning in, they're getting support. This book is serving them. So just as I reflect that back to you, I'd love for you to share a little bit about this book and what you are hoping and are seeing that it's doing for people.
Yeah, this book has been on my heart for about 3 years. So I actually wrote it about 3 years ago, and then was like, I had an editor. I felt very passionate about it. And to be very honest, had sent it up to Bob Proctor to write the foreword, and he was like, can you let me know when it's fully edited? And I was like, oh. And so then I really took some time to piece through it and, what is this book about? What do I really want it to serve the world for? And really, I just want people to understand that there's this great, amazing, profession out there called life coaching. And it is a very unique and it's very popular right now. And it has the ability to hold you where you're at, accept you where you're at, and to help you reach your goals and your aspirations and your deepest goals and aspirations. It is really kind of a story of my life and how I was always looking for what was wrong with me. I think that's just the way I grew up. It's also as a physical therapist, that's what I was trained in, to look for what was wrong, to help people. And so that was just the way my brain worked. And I was always looking for what was wrong with me. And that really wasn't leading me in a very healthy direction, although sometimes it would. It's not like I didn't achieve anything over that time. I achieved a lot of really great things. However, my default was to always look for what was wrong. And in life coaching, what I started to do with my life is look for what I desired. What do I really want? What do I want to experience? What are my goals? And it was more forward thinking and allowed some of those kind of, deep subconscious programs to really raise their ugly head. And I was like, wow, this is deeply ingrained in me to continually look for what is wrong in my relationships, in myself, even in my children. I was a very, I had kind of this balance. I would praise my children, was also very critical of them as well. It was a whole internal dialogue, and whatever we are experiencing internally is mirrored in our outside world. So with life coaching, and I started to use these tools within a 3-month period, I had attracted a job that was almost double my income. And it was a real wake-up call, and I was like, how did that happen? Oh, it happened because I was following my joy and doing things that really filled me up instead of, and really, it was really a shift of focus. And it's amazing how quickly your life can change when you shift your focus. So beautiful. That's what this, why this book is out, is just to let people know and to connect with a life coach that is right for you, because everybody's journey is unique. So there's a little list in here that helps you choose the right life coach for you so you can, connect with someone who can truly help you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. So listeners, it's a great time to just kind of feel in and process some of what Barbara has shared and make a note of that book, Ditch the Boyfriend, and get a life coach if you think that survey or questionnaire would be helpful and supportive and you'd like to learn more about Barbara and her journey. That's a great tool or resource that you can tap into. Enjoy these 2 minutes, and when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation. Enjoy.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall-Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world, hosted by NYLC CEO Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and the opportunity to reflect on all that Barbara shared with us and really see what's speaking to your heart, what's speaking to your spirit. She raised some really great things to reflect on and think about and pay attention to and explore. And to know that you can get support wherever you are in the journey, that you can lean in. You don't have to do it on your own. That's a myth. You actually can lean in and get support and have someone come alongside you and help hold up the mirror and help support you where you're at and help you get to where you're wanting to go and wanting to be and wanting to bring forward. So I think that's so exciting that there are people out there that can come alongside us and help us bring forward who we truly are and what makes our heart sing. And I love that she was sharing a little bit about her own journey and how by starting to do those things, it translated into some really powerful ways out in the world. So it's brought forward a #1 international best-selling book, reaching best-selling status in over 6 countries, so 7 countries. It has led to becoming a life coach. It led to increasing her income, all different kinds of things as she went on this journey and was courageous. I love that, being courageous, authentically courageous, to take those steps to discover, to grow, and to come forward. And now she is standing in that place of helping support and lift others up in the same way. So circling into that, Barbara, I'd love to talk a little bit about why is it important that our listeners who are feeling this pull or wanting more, why is it important for them to invest in themselves and to dream, to explore their dreams and heart desires? Why is that important?
Well, I think we've forgotten how to really dream. You know, we're encouraged as children to dream, and then we forget because we conform, right? And the opposite of conformity is courage. And the reason it's important is because that's where the authenticity comes in. You know, our dreams are given to us uniquely, and I believe they come from higher power, God, the universe source, and they are unique to us. It's what to me, this is what I believe. It is what our journey here on earth is about, is connecting to that and embodying our purpose. And, it's part of the human experience, kind of forgetting that and coming back to what that dream is so that you can live your authentic life.
Mm. And how, as we do that and kind of try that on, living our life, and that some of that purpose is being how we're made and what our unique dreams are and living that, how does that translate into making a positive difference in the world? How does that create a win for others as well?
Well, I think, for me, I was always taught that some of my desires were wrong. Some of the things that I enjoyed were wrong. And I think what is happening right now is, as we all really look at what our deepest desires are, and embody those, that we are, we're going to live a more empowered society. And I truly believe all change begins at the individual level. So if we don't wake up individually, I don't think our society as a whole can wake up and cooperate fully. So that's why I think this is so important, for you to find what is unique to you. What are your quirky things that you love, and that's, I really do believe that we kind of try to make life so, bland, instead of really finding what is that unique part to us that spices up our life. So I do believe this individual journey will translate into a higher level society where we're cooperating instead of constantly in competition.
Yes. I love that. I was thinking, we do a lot of work with speakers and get to showcase them. And one of the things I know, when I became a speaker, and I was a very resistant, shy messenger, believe it or not, listeners, I was. And I was very uncomfortable in the spotlight. And I remember one of my mentors pulling me aside one day and said, the audience is actually for you, rooting you on. And when you are in pain up there and uncomfortable and looking like you're being punished, it actually hurts the audience and it's painful for them. So bring in things that are fun for you, have that joy, and they will lean in and cheer you on, and everybody wins. And it was really powerful for me. And to me, I hear that in what you're sharing, that in all the different ways that we walk, that if we can walk in the way that's uniquely us, that brings that spring to our step, that gives us spring and joy, it has a positive ripple out, because everything we do ripples out, and we can do that in a positive way just by being more of who we are, and those things that bring a spring in the step. And I will tell you, as I shifted, people in the audience started smiling more. I started smiling more, and it actually became fun and joyful in the process. So I love that we can do that in our everyday life, whether we are a speaker or not. And I think all of us have seen that moment where someone is just looking like they're having the best day ever, and a spring in their step, and it makes us smile. It has an impact. Even if we don't talk to them, it impacts us. So I love this, that we can have that freedom to discover what that is. I love to add that spice to our life, and that it does create richness for everybody. So as you're reflecting on our conversation today, we've talked about so many amazing things, great things to reflect on and to think about. Is there a piece of advice that you would give to our listeners out there, something that they could add to their toolbox or reflect on to really help them bring more of who they are forward?
I think the biggest thing is to, and you said it at the beginning of this call, which was so perfect. We all kind of get these ideas in our heads about what we want, but the first step is really writing it down. Almost everything I've written down in my journal has become true. And I think we underestimate the power of just writing down what it is you really want and connect to that. And then, pick up my book and see if there's, something resonates and really finding someone who can help you bring that dream about. But yeah, my first step would be feel that dream in your heart and write it down. That's a great first step. And I love that you shared that right at the beginning.
See, it's like we planned it. I love it. We're just in sync.
I know,
it's
right?
Perfect. I love that. So for those who writing it down feels a little bit stretching, or they want to know, well, how, when, how much do I write down? Do you have any tips of how to build maybe a practice of that in their life, a little baby step at a time?
Yeah. So I'm a big writer. Obviously, I wrote a book, and I have had a couple clients that are really resistive to writing. So I just said, hey, what about just the first thing when you wake up? Just write a quick paragraph. And then if you keep feeling that resistance, find some type of medium, whether that's painting or drawing or something. But it is important, I do believe, to get it in physical form, out of your mind into physical form, because it actually helps us, helps our subconscious mind embody what it is we really want. So coloring is a great second tool, but sometimes when you just get in the practice of giving yourself a break and being like, oh, I only have to write 2 sentences, then maybe you'll have 10 by the end of just starting.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. I love that it's not 17 pages. It's just putting a couple of bullet points count, just getting some of your thoughts and dreams down and starting to interact with it. And I'm curious, as your clients do that, are there things about that surprise them or have surprised you when you've done it?
Yes. I think it's always a surprise. And when you get into this practice and really realize that when you're writing, the act of writing, what happens is your subconscious mind will connect with your conscious mind. And then these ideas or thoughts will just like pop and you're like, oh, that's the inspiration, and it happens. I do a lot of work on my calls. I do group coaching. And so on my calls, we do work on the calls so that they can experience that and then be motivated to do it off the calls. And 9 times out of 10, somebody has something pretty profound that came about. So it's pretty, it's very, very neat to see how our subconscious mind is trying to always help us. And help our conscious mind to carry that out. So
I love that. And I love that you're available to work in that format, because that also creates like a community and a group and support on the journey.
Yeah, it's really,
it's so powerful. Because sometimes when we start to step a little differently in our dance and move into this space, it can feel stretching and like you're walking alone a little bit, because you're starting to walk differently. And I love that you provide that. So anything you'd add to that for people that are starting that dance?
I started my dance alone, and I love that you brought that up. It was really difficult. And when I started to shift, I started to seek out other people to kind of connect with. And so that's why I love group coaching. First of all, I think that the information that is shared from my coaching platform is powerful, but what's even more powerful is the group. And the group will have solutions that I could have never thought of. And it creates this little bubble of possibility. And we're all there supporting each other, and we each want each other's dreams to be realized. So we're all kind of on that same wavelength. And when we focus in on one person, we're able to help them in a way that I, myself, could not help them alone. So I love that.
I love that vision, and I can feel that bubble of possibilities. It has such a lovely feel. I love that. Ready to burst and share beautifully out into the world. I love that. So we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I encourage you to think about some of what Barbara has shared and see what's speaking to your heart, what's speaking to your spirit. And the extra credit bonus stretch opportunity I want to give you is, what is one way, one thing maybe that quirky thing about you that gives you some spice or makes you smile, that you could start to just kind of bring into your daily life, one little step at a time. What are, because it can be more than one thing, but what are some things that you want to start bringing forward and bringing back into your life? So take these 2 minutes, reflect on that, and we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall-Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that you wrote down one or more extra credit bonus ideas that you can start to bring into your life, one baby step at a time. Baby steps count. They get you there one step at a time. It still moves you forward. So I encourage you at the end of today's show, take a couple minutes to really look back on your notes, look back to the beginning of our conversation and see what was laid on your heart. See what support has come in to help bring you forward. And then take that breath and choose how you want to be as you step back into the day. The day's not in charge. So in case it thought it was, it's not. You are. You get to choose the steps and how you take them. So I encourage you to take those 2 minutes at the end of the show. Give yourself that space and that moment to transition and step forward mindfully and purposely. Barbara, I have so enjoyed having you on the show today and talking about these really important subjects. It's so important that we're empowered and able to step forward in the unique and wonderful way that we're made. We all win when that happens. So I love that you stand for that and that you are creating programs and have programs to help people do that. And I'd love for you to take a moment, and if there's anything on your heart, a final tip that you or reminder that you can share with our listeners, I'd love for you to add that to the conversation.
Yeah, I just want to remind people, it doesn't matter what your past has been. It really doesn't. A new life can start right now. It doesn't matter what has happened, how old you are. And the important thing is like there is a stream inside of you that wants to bubble to the surface, and it's ready to flow like a fountain from your soul. And that's what it feels like. And when you think about fountains, you just think about this great, vibrant energy. So for me, it's like connecting to those things that bring you pure joy, because that's where the juice in life is, right? What is that? What really brings you pure joy? What gives you a lot of satisfaction? For me, that was writing, but also just connecting to those daily things like my coffee, my exercise, because that's when the subconscious mind can really talk to you, is when you're experiencing joy and when you're relaxed. Then the next step is revealed. And, maybe that is, a hug with your beloved, just really connecting with your friends over a bottle of wine, like whatever that is. We think it has to be so big, but it can be just so tiny and simple. But do connect to those things that bring you joy and follow that.
Beautiful. And how can people connect with you and go deeper and get your book?
Well, I am on Facebook, Barbara Joyce on Facebook. You can connect with me there. I have a website, barbarajoyce.com. Very, very simple. And you can see the coaching aspect there. So that's probably the easiest way. I'm also on Instagram. So Barbara Joyce Live on Instagram, so you can connect with me there, and LinkedIn and Twitter. So those are my main ways you can contact me.
Perfect. And is there a link to your book on your sites as well, or is Amazon the best place to get that? There is a link on barbarajoyce.com under books. Perfect. I just want anyone who is leaning in to know how they can get their hands on that book. So that's perfect. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. And listeners, I want to thank all of you for tuning in, joining us today. I hope you got some great tips and insights and some things to really take a moment and think about and connecting in with your joy. So really use a couple moments at the end of today's show to support you in that. And then for those of you who perhaps your joy is helping others, empowering them, sharing your wisdom, sharing your insight with others in a powerful, positive way. If that's you, I want to encourage you to check something out. It's called the Speaker Talent Search. You can find it at speakertalentsearch.com. speakertalentsearch.com. And it's an opportunity, it's part of our give back, where we help experts, messengers, and speakers get on more stages and platforms and be interviewed and be seen and heard by more people. Because part of making the world a better place is empowering you to be more of you, to touch more lives, to bring your wisdom and insight forward, because it is absolutely needed. You are the biggest gift that you can give the world. So I encourage you, check it out, speakertalentsearch.com. It'll also put you on our list so we can stay in touch and stay connected, which we would love. And as you take a couple moments at the end of today's show, I want you to remember a couple of things. One, you are a gift, absolutely needed in the world. There's no one else just like you. Two, the biggest gift you can give the world, therefore, is more of you. So be willing to share the gift of who you are. Be willing to bring forward, embody, be those things that give you joy, that bring a song to your heart and spirit. Be willing to share that with the world and trust it with it. It makes a difference. So wherever you go, whatever you do, be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.